Hey, this is the one and only storyteller. January the 26th afternoon. I did get a little bit of work done. I thought I would go ahead and give you an update. I got quite a ways today. Always wish I could get further, of course. But, you know, kind of is what it is. Do the best you can. Hope for the best. And put your best foot forward, and hey, that's all you can do. So that's all I did. So you know, that's about it. Can't really ask for anything better than that. Can't really ask for anything more than that. Just do the best you can, and see where it lies, see where it falls, see where see what comes from it. So here in just a second, give you an idea. There is a tub full of parts: distributor, coil, radiator, support bracket, all kinds of stuff. Fuel pumps down in there, right about right there, and we got quite a bit of stuff taken off. So might as well go ahead and show you. Here's the engine as it stands right now. Hallmark balancer come off tomorrow. This plate will come off tomorrow. Oil filter, drain the oil out of the engine. Then the hard part comes up. That will be these exhaust bolts. These two exhaust bolts on each side is going to be probably the hardest part of it all. I'm sure, or almost positive, I'll probably have to wind up taking the die grinder and cutting these off, and then drilling them out, and putting in new studs right there. More than likely, that's what I'm kind of anticipating. I would really like to take the exhaust manifolds off. They've never been off since 1979, so kind of hate not to, but gosh, man, I've always had bad luck with exhaust bolts. On the Mustang, I had to have 4 studs taken out of the, or broken bolts out of the heads. So, exhaust and bolts just isn't a real good, it's not a real good pair. It just, I never had any luck. I don't know. It's going to be an iffy thing. I just really hate to do it. It's, you know, 1979. It's been sitting here for probably the last 6 months without it being ran a lot. So the chances of them breaking is going to be, yeah. It's, it's automatically going to happen. So I don't know. I don't know if I will or not. Them bolts are pretty old. So this wiring harness right here, I'll have to get this out, get it undone. It's all wire tied together. I'll have to get it out, wipe it down, clean it up, kind of work on it a little bit, try and retape it here and there, put some new wire loom on it, things of this nature. I did notice the frame does have a crack right there, so I'll definitely have to take a come along or something and pull that together and weld that back up. I don't know why that happened. I don't know of it ever being in an accident, so I don't know. Guess as good as mine, yours as good as mine. So, but yeah, the wiring harness is up. I'll have to take it down, and of course take these pieces down here and undo these, and things of that nature. All this back here, when the engine comes out, it'll be painted black. I'll take the heater blower out and sand it down and paint all this silver or a light gray. Things of that nature. I'll fix it up, paint it up, get it. I'll get underneath the hood looking good. It's a bolt broke right here, which I'll have to drill this out right here all the way through and put a new bolt in right there. It's just, little things. It's going to take some time. Differential right here, which I don't know why Ford put this oil filter here for all that oil to drain down on top of that differential, but you know, hey, they built a better idea, so I don't know. You know, I parts and service manager for a Chevrolet dealership for 13 years. I can't say they did it any better. You know, they did some of the dumbest stuff I've ever, you know, witnessed in my life. So I can't say Ford's any worse. You know, one thing you can always rely on: Toyota, Nissan, Dodge, Chevrolet, Ford. One thing you can always rely on: they all tear up, all of them. We've had every one of them in our shop, no matter the age, whether they were new, 5 years old, 8 years old, 10 years old. They all tear up. All of them tear up. So don't say one's better than the other. Maintenance. I could show you where maintenance is 100% the life of your vehicle. If you don't do maintenance, it will not last long at all. If you do maintenance, I can show you, or could have showed you, cars and trucks that had 200,000 miles on them with no major problems, because the maintenance was done on time. So don't throw that out there, one's better than the other. They all tear up. All of them. That's just the way it is. So there's a cherry picker, engine hoist. It's ready to go in the morning. I got it there ready to go. And we'll go in here to the, I call it the breakdown tent. Here is the radiator support. I'll sand it down and sand it down with a wire brush, or buff it down with a wire brush and paint it. Here's all the parts and pieces that need to be painted, cleaned up and painted. Carburetor needs to be rebuilt. I'm not going to put it back on until the carburetor is rebuilt. Alternator needs to be cleaned up. It's in good shape, works fine. I just wound up taking a piece of sandpaper on a real small, like a 4-inch or 2-inch orbital DA, and sand it down and make it look pretty. Same thing with this. I'll take a sandblaster on low pressure and I'll sandblast this and make it look pretty, and then I'll clear coat it where it'll keep looking pretty. There's the breather, of course, valve covers, shroud, intake. If you don't think this intake don't weigh, I know this intake has to weigh at least 35-40 pounds. I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. And two things I couldn't understand either on this engine. I tore into it once, of course, this being 16, 17 years ago, but funny thing about this engine is I don't remember this type of intake gasket. I know they made them, and I have put quite a few on in my day, but I don't remember this truck having. I don't remember this truck having this type of intake gasket, but I guess it did. It does look like, if you look right here, how dark it is. It looks like it'd been leaking, and it was leaking right here. You can tell right here. It's leaking right there, right across there. You tell the black that's blowing. Let me get a close-up. You can tell where the black right here was blowing up. That shouldn't be there. That should not be there. That's not part of where the intake seal to the head. Same thing as this right here. That is a little dirt, a little grime, but that is carbon buildup. You can see the carbon buildup right there. So that's where the problem was. That's why it wasn't. That's why it wouldn't idle. Intakes just they loosened up over the years. So this time when I go back, I'll make sure that they're extra tight and they'll have Loctite on them. Second thing I don't remember about the truck is these right here. I would have bet you any kind of money that this truck, this engine, came with a bar. The old 360, 390s, 350, 352s, all came with a bar. I could have swore this engine had a bar that ran across here, and the rocker arms, of course, the bar slid through the center of the rocker arm, and of course it, you know, up and down. You know, it's clean as a pin on the inside, as you can tell. I mean, it's clean. I mean, you can't tell. I mean, I changed the oil in it regularly, which it didn't have 10,000 miles on it in the last 16 years. So, but you know, it just it was a junkyard engine that my father put in the truck when he blew the original one up. Like I said, hauling way too much sorghum cane on a trailer, tandem trailer, that he just shouldn't have been. So you can tell right here too, if I can get the picture just right. See this right here? That's carbon. That's carbon buildup right there. And it's another piece of carbon buildup there. Another one right here. So that's where it was leaking from. It had an intake leak. So the heads should be fine. They're not going to the machine shop. I will lap them in, break them down, put new seals in there, lap them in, turn them over, level them up. If they hold brake fluid for 15 minutes right running out of the port, they're sealed up enough to run and ready to go. It's not a race engine, not going to be a race engine. Like I said, I put 10,000 miles in 16, 17 years, so you don't have to go far, don't have to go fast. You just need to start and run and push the vehicle down the road. So that's about it. I am going to put new cam bearings in it. I do feel necessary that those should go in. I'm not going to put freeze plugs in it. They're not leaking. They look fine. I'll inspect them better when I get them out. But they look fine, so we're not going to bother with them. We're just going to take the heads off, work the heads here at home. If they hold brake fluid, they'll go back on. If they don't, then they'll go to the machine shop. I won't have a choice. Of course, you do know the machine shop kept the Mustang heads for 6 weeks. So I'll probably go buy a different set of heads. These heads are easy to find. You can find them anywhere in a junkyard. There's a guy here in town that sells Ford parts. All he does is buy old Fords, break them down, part them out. So I'm sure he's got some. So I'll probably just buy some from him. And that way I can go ahead and, as you can tell right there how dark all that is in here. It was leaking air pretty bad. So, you know, it is what it is. So it needed help. It was a sick puppy, you know. It was a sick puppy, so like I said, we're going to try and make it a scalded dog, after, as old people say. Make it run like a scalded dog when it's done. So I thank you for stopping in. I thank you for staying this long. Appreciate you staying with me, and hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got a laugh or two. Hope you was entertained. Tell all your friends. Subscribe. Ring the bell. Leave a message. You know, if you leave a message, if it's negative, just make sure you leave a positive comment last. This is a one and only storyteller, and we're out. Thanks.